All right, guys, this tutorial is going to show you how to modify the blank face that's in Character Animator so that you can create a character of your own. You could also do the Chloe character and modify that as well if you're wanting a full-bodied character. That takes a little bit more work to do, but essentially the commands that you would use in Illustrator that I'm going to show you with the blank face, you can do with Chloe as well. You would just be modifying the arms and legs and the torso as well as the head. So we're just going to start with opening up the blank face from Illustrator. So you should be starting in Character Animator on Start. You want to double click to open up the blank face Illustrator. And it will open up in Illustrator for you. So if you notice when I was popping open this, there it is. If you flip back to Character Animator, it shows up for you like this. But I want to show you the one that I had done before. Let me hide this guy. I don't want him right now. I believe this is the one that I had. Yes. This is the bunny that I created to start with for from that blank face. So this is the end product that I received, but it took me a while to get here. So I actually had the first one was this lovely looking guy right here. My goal was to create a bunny, and this is what I was working on, and it is rather horrendous, I think, kind of scary looking. So because I was having such a hard time getting what I wanted, what I did was I just went into Google and typed in cartoon bunny face to get a good idea of what I should be trying to create, because I am not one of those people that can envision it in my mind and then reproduce it. So I have to have something that I can actually see. So I started looking at the shape of the head and the ears. I knew that I wanted the ears to kind of flop a little bit, kind of like this. So that was the goal I was shooting for on the ears. The mouth, you can't modify too much unless you know a lot about Character Animator and Illustrator. So I knew that I couldn't do too much with the mouth, like I couldn't get these bunny teeth up if I wanted that. But I could add the nose and I could modify the eyes. So I was trying for something like this with the eyes. So I'm going to get rid of that guy. He's just too horrific to look at. Let me move my canvas over and bring my tools up where they're supposed to be. So in Illustrator, when it opens up, you're going to see all of these layers. And if you do not see your layers, come up here to Window. All of these are window items that you will have available to you. Anything with a check mark is what is visible. So if your layers does not have a check mark by it, you just need to check it so that you will have your layers show up. But it should automatically do it for you. So this is already programmed for you, coded in. And notice that there is a plus sign in front of character. So you can rename any of these layers if you want to, but try not to move them around too much or mess them up, because if you notice over here it says make any changes you want, save, then switch back to Character Animator. So because they're already coded in the way they're supposed to be, if you change it, it's not going to animate it correctly in Animator. So here, anytime you see a drop-down button like this, that means you have sub-layers below it. So if I close that, then everything that's in character is just in there. This is the head part. That is the eyebrow. And you can check to see that's which one it is. So that's this eyebrow right here. See how it shows up? That one there. So when you have these named, you have to name them for the puppets left and right. So this would be the puppet's left eyebrow, even though as you're looking at it, it's on your right because it's flipped, right? It's a mirror. And then the right eyebrow, right eye, left eye. So if I click on this one, I can see all the different parts of the eye. So this is when it is in blink. That is, not sure which one that is. Those are just the two parts. I think that's the pupil right there. And there's the other one there. Here's all of the mouth parts. For when it speaks, it has to have all these different mouth groupings. So if you were to modify the mouth, you'd have to go in and modify every single one. All right, but let's go ahead and start with the shape of the head. So that's going to be this one right here. If I click on it, it should show up. Yep, right there is where it is. So I can go ahead and cover over this space. So I'm going to get a rounded, or excuse me, an ellipse, which is over here in your tools. And right now I have my rectangle tool that is shown, but right there's a drop down arrow, which means you have other choices. So if you do a right click on the mouse or on the mouse pad, that is a 2-finger click. There's all of your options. We're going to get the ellipse tool. Here are the colors right now for what it is. This one here, I've got this is the stroke and that is the outline. So if it has that red slash through it, that means you do not have a stroke value or a color. If I click on this here, then it gives it a color, so now it's black. If I want to change that, I double click on here. Oops, sorry, no, double click on here. And now I can choose a color that I want. I'm just going to go with that color, hit OK. And that, again, is my outline color. But I want to have a fill color. So I activate my fill by clicking on it so it's in front of the outline, the stroke. Double click so that I can choose a color. It's totally random what I'm doing right now. So now I can go ahead and draw out my ellipse, my oval. So get it the size that you want. And then once you've created it, come over here. This is your selection tool. You want to activate that so that you can now move your oval where you want. I'm going to check my layers again. You find your layer. And now I'm going to get on this one here, and I'm going to delete that now that, sorry, do Command Z. That should not have deleted it like that. I want this one right there. There we go. So now to get rid of that outline, see that's active. I'm going to delete that. There we go, and now it's gone. You can see that now I have my head. I replaced it with what they had so that because it's still in the same layer, the same position where it was, it's not going to mess it up in Animator. So let's say you don't want this perfectly round face like that. You want to alter it a little bit. So what you can do is now that I'm clicked on it, I can modify. I could stretch it up, down, I could go in. I can change it this way a little bit. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that circle that's back there because it's driving me nuts. There we go. Okay. So if I want that face, but maybe, you know, like my rabbit that I made, ooh, not the scary one, this one here. So I made it so that it had rounder cheeks and a pointier part at the head. In order to get that to be created, I had to use this direct selection tool over here. And this allows you to modify more precisely. So I can come down here and drag that out, click on that box there, pull that up a little bit, and squash that down. So this allows you can really get crazy with it. So if it ends up getting, like I don't like what that did, so if you want to undo something, you do Command Z, or you come up here to Edit, Undo. These are your shortcut commands. It'll tell you. There is Command Z, that symbol is Command, that symbol is Shift. So if you want to redo it, Shift Command Z. Cut something, Command X. Copy, Command C. Paste, Command V. Paste in front, yada, yada, yada. So that's all of that. All right, so I think that shape looks good. Let me show you how to now modify your eyes. I ain't gonna mess much with the mouth just because it's so much work. But let me find the eyes. I'm gonna click on this one here. So notice when I clicked on that, it activated all of them there. So once they're all active, you can modify the whole thing and it will, it kind of keeps it grouped together so that you can change the size all at once instead of just doing the pupil or the closed part. Let's see. That looks okay, except I really am not liking how thick the outline is on that stroke value. So that is that one there. So if I come over here, so here are the tools or the options that I have. So the stroke value they set at 10, which is pretty thick. So I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Let's try 2. And I really don't like the black. So I'm going to try something lighter. Let's do a green and see how that works. All right. It's okay. I think I want to change my pupil as well. So I'm going to click on my pupil and change that fill color. Find something I like. There we go. So now I've got that little green eye. Need my layers to stay there. All right, so now if I want to duplicate this eye, I got to be really careful with it. Actually, you know what? I better change that color there. So let's say you want to get a perfect match. Oops. The reason why I can't click it up is because right here it's not visible. They had it hidden. So if I click on that, I have the eye, so now it's visible. I can click on it to modify it. So I want it to be the same color as my pupil. So I'm going to click on that, and that's the color right there. So if I click that back up, here is the color code right here. So I'm going to copy this by doing Command C. And now I'm going to come back over here to there, click that up, and do Command V to paste it in. Notice it changed. Hit OK. And now it's the exact same copy. So if I close that, so now you got my eye. Let's go ahead and save this so we can see how it looks. So do File, Save, or if you want to do the shortcut, Command S. It's saving. Let's go back. Let it finish its work. Take a drink of my coffee while I wait. All right, let's go back to Character Animator. There's still my bunny. So the one that I want to be active, I'm going to close my bunny up, is this one here. So in order to see it, if it's not showing, you got to drag it and bring it down here to this area. And now it's visible. There we go. There is my little guy that I was creating. So I can test him out and blink. Yep, it's got the one green eye that I had. Eyebrows are working a little bit. Head tilt is working. All right, so now I want to go back to Illustrator. So you can, now that I've shown you how to do one eye, if you want to copy that eye, so I'm going to select all of it here. So I clicked on that. I'm going to do Command C, which is copy, and then I'm going to come over here and do Command V, which is paste. But now I've got to get, so that one is there, but I've got to get rid of that black one. So let's click on these three. Oh, sorry, forgot it's not visible. Hold down Shift. If you hold down Shift, then I'll let you click all three of them. And now I'm going to delete it. It's not exactly where I want my eye to be, so I'm going to reposition it. Notice that I have these red marks that show up. That allows me to line it perfectly with the other one. Oh no, I didn't get my pupil. So I got to go back. I'm going to make sure that I can grab all three of these so that they move together. There we go. And it intersects. Now let me close that. There we are. So that's how you get so that you have two eyes that are perfectly matched. Of course, you don't have to make them perfectly matched. Here are your eyebrows. So if you wanted to activate your eyebrows and change it a little bit, so change my color. Just picking a random color, and then I use my direct selection tool so that I can maybe make my eyebrow. Oops, double click. Nope, double click. Let me zoom in. Command plus will help you to double click. I need to add an anchor point. So it's not letting me shift it up because it only has anchor points here in the corners. So if you want to shift it right here, you have to add a point right there. So come over to this tool right here, the pin tool, right click, add anchor point, wherever you want to shift it. Now I can go back to my direct selection tool and modify, oops, double click on there. There we go. Modify my eyebrows. Command minus to move back. So if I want to copy this, Command C to copy. Come in here and activate that. Command V to paste. And get rid of this guy. Just delete it. There we go. And how about we draw a nose? So we can add a nose in here, but we have to make sure that where we add it, it's going to be in the right spot for our layers. So we want it to be underneath these layers here, but it has to be on the face, so it has to be in this area. So I will find, I guess the ellipse tool will work, but let's change the color because I don't want it to blend in to my face. That'll work, and then, oops, I changed my whole face. Let me do Command Z to go back. Let's see, I might have to change my color after I've drawn it on. Okay, so that's the nose, and let's change the color. There we go. All right, so now he's got a little cute nose. So something else that I did, if I get my bunny back around, you'll see that I added a little reflection light in there. So you are able to do that if you want. I just added it there on the pupil, so I did go in and change that pupil size so it's a little bit bigger, and then change the main eye size as well. I did add my nose here, and then I just added a line to go down like I saw on the bunnies. Have to have something connecting to the mouth. I added little cheeks in there. So with this one, I just did a circle, but up here, I changed the opacity. So opacity is how strong the color is put in. So if I raise that opacity up, then it's a stronger color. Lower it, then it kind of blends in a little bit more. I'm going to put that back at 50 where I had it. The ears, I just added down here like I did with the nose. So it still has to be in the head area. But then I just added my own shape, and I made these from several shapes. Ended up cutting part of it away so that it would fit. This is just an oval. So if I ungroup these, you can see all the different shapes that I used just to make this ear. So I did that one there, and then this one here. And then I just put them all three together. Go back, make sure it's all grouped. My eyebrows, let's see. The carrot I'm going to show you in the next video when you're going to do a prop in your background. So right now you're just working on creating your own character. If you're going to do the Chloe one, it's pretty much the same of going through and adding everything, modifying it the way that you want, but you're going to have more work to do because you have more body parts. So it's up to you how much work you want to do on this. So let me go back to my blank face so I can show you. Oh, that's a lovely character, isn't it? Have to save it and come back to Character Animator, and it's going to get it all together, preparing the scene. Ooh, look at that. I have no idea what happened with that. Let me set my rest pose. Make sure that whenever you're doing this, you have lots of light. If you're in a dark room, the camera can't catch you the way that it needs to. So you want to look straight at the camera. I've got a nasty twitch going on there. Not quite sure what happened with my face on that. And my eyes a little wonky. So I must have messed up when I was grabbing all of my layers. So you can go back and then just check to make sure everything is positioned where it's supposed to be. It should be where it's supposed to be. But everything went a little wonky, that is for sure. What is that one? Oh, that's my mouth. Okay. So yeah, my head shape got a little crazy. All right, anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. That's the basics. If you need help or if you want me to show you something specific for what to do, then let me know and I will come around and help you. And then we'll get ready for the next video where you're going to create a prop for your character and then get ready for you to put a background in and then make your animation. All right, have fun, guys.